Now, the definition of alchemy, according to the dictionary, get your pens and your paper out. According to the dictionary, it is a seemingly magical process of transforming and creating. Like magical. I love this. It's a magical thing. It is not. Spirit would say different. Spirit wants you to know that it is your ability, because you already possess it, you already have it, you're already doing it, is your ability to transmute energy from one form to another. So whether you're feeling a bit of fear, you can transmute that into joy. Whether you're feeling a bit of lack or scarcity, you can transmute that into abundance. Okay. The first stage of alchemy, the first stage of alchemy is purification. All right. Um, Go ahead, babe. We got help here today. I always get nervous with these things, so she supports all the time. Purification is the first stage of alchemy. Actually, my guides are coming forward and they're letting me know. They're reminding me of something they showed me in the shower the other day, and so I honor that. There is not a particular order to this. I want to make that very clear. There's not a particular order to this. So without being in any order, we're going to start with purification. Purification would be one of the stages of alchemy. Okay. And it means the burning away of old forms. Now, this could be the breaking down of the ego's shadow, be it the prostitute energy, be it the saboteur energy, the martyr energy. This could be the breaking down of the limiting beliefs that you possess, that you can't do something, that you can't conquer a fear, that you can't make the shifts and changes necessary to live your best life. Okay. Go ahead, babe. Nope. I got my teaching here. There we go. Thank you. When we get serious about ourselves, when we get serious about where we are in life, then we start to really have an understanding and awareness of what's holding us back. When you start to have the burning away process, it is not a comfortable process. Alchemy is not a comfortable journey. It is one that will get you to the edge. It's one that's going to constantly ask you to leap and to trust. It's one that's going to get you, worked up in a lot of different ways. And it's meant to, because with this stage of alchemy, the purification stage, we are essentially looking at where we continuously etch God out, or source energy, where we're not allowing ourselves to be replenished with our life force energy so that we can thrive. Purification is us coming to the mirror and getting really honest with ourselves about where we have to check our egos, where we can no longer hide behind the shadows that keep us in this constant loop of healing. Okay, I was talking to a client, beautiful client today, and she said to me, I honestly feel like I'm healing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And my whole heart just was like, you are preaching to the choir, girl, because I have resonated with that a few times in my life, where it's like the same thing keeps coming up. But the purification is when we start to really look at the lessons that have been presented to us. Okay. So purification is when we get serious about ourselves and where we are in life, what's holding us back, so that we can understand what we then need to do so we can stop etching God out, leaving the universe out of it, where we can start to bring in the universal energy to replenish ourselves. You came here to thrive. You came here to be successful. You did not come here to struggle. Now, struggle is a term that society uses when shit hits the fan, when things get really hard. But in the from the Buddhist perspective, struggling is something that is just part of life. And if we attach ourselves to it in a negative way, then it'll always be a negative process. But if we can allow ourselves to somewhat make friends with struggle, then we can start to see the gifts that struggle offers us, where it asks us to become bigger, to become wider in energy, to allow ourselves to do bigger things, not harder things, bigger things, where we're asked to show up and step out in bigger ways. So Candace is giving hearts. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. There we are. There we are. There we are. Hi, Beverly. How are you? All right, let's get to another stage of alchemy, which is release. Release is another stage of alchemy. And this is the process of dissolving or letting go of what no longer serves us, whether this is emotionally, whether this is mentally, whether this is physically. We are releasing the things that have come to our awareness that are no longer helping us to create that life where we thrive. Now, when it comes to release, again, we have this misconception that release should always look like crying. Anybody? Like I would walk around and tell my kids, it's okay. I'm leaking as I'm crying. You know, I'm leaking. I'm releasing things. But I want to be very clear. Releasing can be the screaming that you do in the car when you're screaming, I'm done and this is not my life and I'm not doing this anymore. You know, release can be the physical exercising when you're on the treadmill and you're giving it your all and you're sweating and you're having a hard time breathing, like you're really moving energy physically. There's so many ways to release, and depending upon what it is that you're working through, the level of intensity of release and the length of time it takes to actually do the releasing, it's going to vary. And so many people get this sideways. They get mixed up with this because we think that, the loss of a loved one should look like this when it comes to grief, and that we should just, find a way to move on and find a way to just clear it all out and forget about it, or do the steps they tell you to do, taking your loved one and doing some sort of a ceremony, doing some celebration of life, and then doing some sort of, cremation or burial process. And then after that, we just honor them on their anniversaries or their birth dates. And that couldn't be farther from the truth. When it comes to releasing, when we become aware of the things that are holding us back or creating heaviness within our lives, we start to we want to start to feel into. The only way to go through something is to go through something, okay? Releasing when it comes to grief or loss, shifts or changes, this is a big heart space energy. Releasing asks us actually to show up for ourselves, and many of us miss this part. We don't want to show up for ourselves. We want to crawl into the bed and not wake up that day. We want to forego, looking ourselves in the mirror because we feel like crap and we must look like crap. Like, releasing is the last thing we want to do is show up for ourselves, right? We want to hide from ourselves. We want to hide from the world. When we walk through some really challenging moments, when we start to recognize what no longer serves us, we're asked to release those things. For me, part of this was the divorce, being married once, being married twice, and really knowing within myself that I was being asked to release this marriage, to release this partner, to recognize the relationship stage for what it was and what it wasn't, to honor what it wasn't, so that it could leave room for other opportunities to come in, both for myself and for him. And it was really, really difficult. There are still moments when it's difficult because of how tethered and how connected our lives are with our children and other personal responsibilities and things of that nature. But in order to create boundaries within our world, within our lives, whether these are emotional or physical, we have to start to understand what no longer serves us and why it's important to let it go. It could be for the next stage of evolution. It could be for the next opportunity. It could be for further advancement in your business or in your money levels or whatever the case may be. You are always going to, before you have big change, you're going to be gifted an opportunity to release. Okay. All right. How are you feeling? Oh, I'm getting more 99. What are those stars? I get stars on every live. I love it. Thank you. Hi, Beverly. How are you? Hello. All right, let's go to another stage. This one is discernment. Discernment. All right. And this is a stage where The act of discerning distinguishes what is of value. This leads us to clear understanding and focus on our interconnectedness. Okay, when you start to release, what often is left is the things that are of value. We can't do without them. We know that they are relevant. We know that they are extremely important. Okay. Does this support me? Is a huge question at this stage. As we discern the relevance of what's been showing up and what we've been manifesting in our lives, we ask ourselves from a state of awareness, does this help me further what it is that I am wanting to create? Or does it negatively create more negativity, right? Because you know the law of attraction, like attracts like, negative gives you more negative. If something is not of value and we hold on to it because of attachment, we hold on to it because we have fear of letting it go, it is just going to continue the cycle, repeat, repeat, repeat. And we start to forget what's most important. We start to feel depleted rather than have this raised vibration that creates more things to be pleased by, more things to be satisfied with, more things to bring in happiness and joy. We have got to discern what is most important and what is of value to us. Now, that stage most likely is going to be a challenge for some that don't know the value of where they are or of who they are or of what they have. So my homework for this stage for you would be, what are some of the things that you hold that you find value in? What are some of those things that you can go to when you're having an off day, when your vibration is not high and exuding, all over the place? It's one of those moments when you're like, I need a pick me up. What are the things that you value most? Simplify to amplify is one of the things the guides have been telling me since the beginning of this year. I remember my first 2024 team meeting, and I gathered the team and I said, this year is simplify to amplify. Simplify to amplify. 8 months, 9 months now later, I probably would never have said to you the ways in which we would do the simplification would look the way that they have. But nonetheless, here we are. Simplify to amplify. And that is one of the greatest advantages of knowing what you value most. Because if it's not a value, it's not relevant, it's not important, and we ain't wasting our energy on it. You feel me? So go through, get in your journal and go through a list of things that you value. What are some of the things that support you? What are some of the things that you've been recognizing aren't and that you need to start pushing out of your environment, pushing out of your life, pushing out of your energy field? And what are those things that help you raise your vibration? Gardening and mowing, yes. Going hiking, absolutely. I'm not gonna say your name right. I'm so upset. Afresni is joining us from Australia. Hello. Oh my goodness, you're like way into tomorrow already. It's Monday over there in Australia. Thank you so much for popping on and joining us. All right, let's go to the last stage of alchemy. Integration. Integration. All right, this is the stage where we start to integrate the new, become more complete, where we recognize or feel the presence of our unified self. Unified self means when we are aligned with ourselves. I love this stage. This is like that moment when you take that deep breath. We've moved through the purifying. We've moved through the letting go. We've moved through the discerning of the value. Now we get to integrate, okay, what we've learned. This is where we become. This is when we know better, so we do better. Integration is the stage where we now walk the walk more securely and more fully. Here's where our new beliefs and our habits, they're flowing, they've been implementing, we're working those things through our daily lives, and we're feeling the shifts and the changes occurring. Not just feeling them, but we're actually seeing them in our lives. This is huge. This is when the numbers are coming, the angel numbers are coming. This is when we're getting our spirit animals showing up, or we see the signs and the synchronicities. This is when we start understanding why life has been showing up for us the way that it has. Like, okay, divine, I see you. I see why your hand has been all over this stuff. I get it. I understand now. One of these things, there's a few things that they've shown me about this 4 stages. Okay, so let's just real quick review. There's the purification stage, the release stage, the stage of discernment, and the stage of integration. It reminded me of the process of clearing our energy. When it's done properly, we begin in that source energy and we bring it into us. Okay, we imagine ourselves in like a gold bubble, a gold sphere. We bring source energy in to clear and to clean our energy field so that we can then bring in the things that we know we desire, right? We start to let go. We start to discern those things of value. We start bringing them in. We feel connected to our greatest version. This is self-mastery is also another term for this. When we have that remembrance and that awareness that the greatest version of myself is always asking me to clear, to move out, to discern, and then to integrate my truest qualities, my highest of vibration, so that we can live the life that feels amazing. So we can start to see the things we're calling in manifest in the physical world. So we alchemize all the time. We alchemize all the time. One of the other beautiful examples that my guys was giving me this morning, they were showing me like the process of life, right? So we would be embodied, integrated when we come into form. So when we're born, the spirit becomes a body. So there's that integration. We work throughout our lifetime here, being Jackie Hopper. I'm working through my lifetime here, discerning the things that I value, right? And then releasing and letting go of the things that don't. And repeat and repeat and repeat until the day I take my last breath. And the process of leaving the body and doing a life review is the purification process, where we start to remind ourselves of the soul that came into form and all of the contracts that were in place, all of the purpose to the relationships that we had, the things we had to learn, the ups, the downs, the bumps, the bruises, and the mistakes that took place. Like everything comes full circle. So our life process in and of itself is an alchemy experience. So one of the things I'm really excited about talking to you all about is my upcoming 3-month course called Becoming the Alchemist. We will become masters of awareness, of transmutation, of integration, not just mentally, but also energetically and physically. Yes, we alchemize all the time. Go ahead, babe. And we did that one too. I'm like ahead of her, not giving her her cues. Becoming the Alchemist starts Wednesday, September 4th. And during our 3 months together, you can expect weekly calls. Those will be held on Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Weekly meditations or healings will be downloaded into your platform. So you can expect to have those every Wednesday. Every Wednesday, a new meditation or a new healing drops for you to experience. And then on Fridays, we come together for any Q&A. This will be held in a Facebook group where you will be able to share in the thread any questions that you have, any feedback that you have, anything that you need some support with. That will be on Fridays. So this program is a huge program that is going to take us through the alchemy. Those stages that I just spoke about will be incorporated each month as we walk through the mental alchemy of breaking free from anything overthinking, pressure, the scattered mind, the disassociation that we do when we don't want to focus, right? Limiting behaviors or the patterns that you're having. It all starts in the mind. So we're going to start month 1 or right out of the gate, we're talking about mental alchemy and how to start shifting that mental space from a lower vibrational way of thinking to a more positive way of thinking. And then how to tackle, how to release, how to purify, how to discern the things that really matter to us. We will then move into emotional alchemy, where we will start looking at the things that trigger us. Because remember what I said, not everything is a struggle. And even if you are resonating with struggle, it's not a negative thing. We all came here to move through those hurdles, to move through those opportunities where we are really going to learn the greatest aspects of ourselves, where we're strong, where we're brave, where we're courageous. The emotional stage, which is month 2, is where we're going to look at how we can reduce some things like anxiety and depression so we can connect again to joy and purpose. It is as easy as creating a choice. I'm going to show you how. Alchemy is that process of knowing I have fear right now and I want joy. Alchemy is the process, it's the journey, it's the bridge from where you are to where you want to be emotionally. And then the last month, month 3, we are going to spend 4 weeks talking about physical alchemy so that we can support you with relieving the discomfort. We can start improving your digestion. We're going to start really looking at your focus, physical focus, like where the alignment is for you, where the disalignment is for you, so that we can start having those pinpointed areas that can support you in so many ways. Restful sleep, feeling more zoned in during the day, feeling like you have more energy within your body for your daily life, for your family, for yourself, for your friends, for your partner. Go ahead, Bay. Oh yes. Oh my goodness. I almost forgot about this. Thank God she's here. Yes, when you enroll, you also get a bonus. It's the Map of Mastery. The Map of Mastery, this is like a huge self-study course. It's valued at $222, but you're going to go through the 12 laws of the universe, the 9 vital energy centers, and you'll also get the 10 decrees of oneness. This is a huge, the price, I'm surprised we kept it at 222. I mean, it is an amazing self-study course. You're going to get 3 months with me in a beautiful, intimate group setting. We're going to meet on Sundays, face-to-face through Zoom. You're going to have meditations dropped. You're going to have a Q&A thread where we can reconnect. You're going to get a bonus, the Map of Mastery, with all of the amazing guidance and insight that program offers, all for $1,297. That is the price of 3 months with me, $1,297. You can do 3 payments of $500 if you want to break it into 3 payments. There's also Afterpay, there's Klarna, there's lots of other ways that you can even spread these payments out. I think they're like $113 a month. It makes it very affordable for you to join us so that you can become the alchemist of your life, where you can start to make those shifts and changes reality for you, where you will get off that hamster wheel of thinking you are constantly seeing the same thing every day. Every issue, every problem coming looks the same type of way. We're going to really get to the process of navigating from where you are to where you want to be. So, Becoming the Alchemist, doors open September 4th, which is this Wednesday. Teachings start on Sunday. So we only have a few more days left. We have a beautiful group already gathered. You will have a Facebook group, a free Facebook group, where we will go in and host, the Q&A and the connections and the feedback, where people are going to be able to go when they are struggling, when they need that guidance and support. It is where we will gather. But this is a course that will be on a course platform so that you can come back to it and watch the replays. We are going to separate the meditation so that if you're just in a day where you need to meditate all day long, you're going to have a whole bunch of meditations there at your disposal. You'll also get the Map of Mastery, which will keep you busy in between our time together, learning about the 12 laws of the universe, understanding the 9 vital energy centers, and really getting clear about the 10 decrees of oneness that were passed down to us on how to live a magnificent life. You can go to jacquelinehopper.com/alchemist to read more about